Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of the show that's yet to be named. We are reviewing things today. We're reviewing Werewolf by Night. I'm here with Johnny Donuts from Johnny Donuts 777. Check out all his stuff. We got all kinds of new wrestling videos coming out. There will be gaming content eventually. Well, he does his gameplay stuff. You can watch that as well. Let's just jump right into this. Werewolf by Night. Oh, we're gonna go spoiler free a little bit, and we'll let you
Yeah,
know when it's time for spoilers. So,
sounds like a plan.
tell me about Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night. Basically, it's a show based on the 1972 Marvel comics. It was part of a Marvel Spotlight series where they were kind of doing a little bit more dark in terms of instead of more humorous action hero stuff. They were trying to go a little because the 70s really liked that horror genre. And basically, the main character of Werewolf by Night is Jack Russell, like the dog. Get it? Werewolf dog. Haha.
Yeah. So it follows him around. Uh, it follows Jack around as he's part of this like underground group that hunt monsters, but really he's a monster himself.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's really trying to liberate them, I guess, in a way, or protect them.
he protects them kind of
Yeah,
secretly without them knowing. They think that he killed them, and really he just lets them go. But so the leader of this group has died, and they're trying to appoint a new leader, and whoever kills this monster will become the leader. And the monster
inherit the
happens to be
bloodstone.
Man Thing. That's not a spoiler. Don't worry.
It's in the trailer.
Yeah. So we'll just jump into this, keeping it as spoilery free as we can.
Yeah,
What did you think?
I kind of liked it. I like my favorite part about it though was the way it was shot. It looked like it was shot on film and it mimicked like those horror movies from the 30s and 40s. And that I think and it's shot in black and white too. So it really that's what really drew me in. The story lacked a little bit, but
Okay, so this is like the new spotlight thing, which is funny because the spotlight is what he came in as
yeah,
those
under
Marvel
Marvel
comic sign.
spotlights, yeah.
So they're starting to do a lot of those. Apparently, the next one is going to be Nova. Um,
Like a one shot
yeah, so that's how these are going to be. They're going to be like 50-minute long, just introductions
specials.
to characters, so that now this character is in the universe without having to make a whole movie around them or an entire TV series because they're not very big characters.
Yeah, this way they can bring in Nova and he can be in the
Yeah.
Guardians, and there you go.
So I mean, now he's in this. This takes place. I'm assuming at this around the same time, even though it
Yeah.
looks really old. Uh so they made it black and white because of the blood.
Yeah.
Originally they didn't want it to be black and white, and then it was like a last minute decision. And I'm
It would have
assuming,
gotten a hard R if it was in color.
yeah, realistically, okay, hold on though. There's nothing in this movie, in my opinion, that even gives it its TV 14 rating that it got. It
I mean,
does
you do
have
see a throat slit.
there are like there's a little bit of gore. I would say that's it because the rest of the movie's
Yeah.
pretty tame. It's not like scary.
No.
It
One
there's
curse word. They only use shit once.
Yeah, and it's like you know what I mean, right? But either way, in the States this would get an R for sure.
Yeah.
In Canada it's like good luck.
Eh,
You have to show a lot of
we call
tits.
this a Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, you'd have to show a lot of nudity to get a rated
Porkies.
R.
Shout
Um
out to Canadian Classic.
but I mean, I liked it. I liked how they
Yeah.
added the CGI grain look. I
Yeah.
thought that was cool, but you could tell that it's not like real film.
Yeah. But if you look, they even add the burn marks in the corner
Yeah,
when
every
they
once in a
changed.
while it will pop like a reel got cut. But my biggest thing I noticed right away that bothered me probably it's my least favorite part of this movie. The CGI in black and white is
Hmm.
so noticeable and
Yeah.
it looks so fake. Like black and white makes it really stand out. And if anyone wants context for this, I really noticed it watching the Snyder cut in black and white version, which don't ask me why I watched the movie for the second time, but I
Third.
did.
Oh, you watched the Snyder cut for the second.
Yeah.
Why?
And I
That's
want
just
because I
torture.
wanted everyone kept saying the black and white version is so good. It's like first of all, the CGI looked bad in the regular Snyder cut. In the black and white one, it's so horrible. You can notice everything that's fake. Like, and the whole in a Snyder movie, everything is
It's
CGI.
fake. The only thing that's not real are the people.
Yeah, and you're lucky if some of them are even real. But yeah, so I already kind of had that idea going into this, and
Yeah.
maybe for me that affected me more because now I really noticed everything. Like when the spiders ran out when she breaks open
Yeah.
the like, oh
But
man, it looks so bad.
even Man Thing when he was running, it looked kind of janky.
But how much better? Okay, at the end, this is not a spoiler. We're not going to tell you what happens. At the end, it turns to color, and how much better did everything look in color?
Oh, just looked so much more vibrant, more like you could see the little details on Man Thing, like the
Yeah,
little
and it's
mushrooms
like
growing on his back, and
it did look better. I actually really like the black and white. Don't take this as me
yeah,
saying I didn't, but
it
like
was a good choice.
the CGI just really stands out. Laura Donnelly, who played Elsa, or
Mm-hmm. Elsa, yeah,
yeah, she was fantastic.
yeah, she was really good in
And
this.
like for a while, I didn't even realize that it wasn't Jessica Jones' girl.
You know what? Everybody's been saying that. You're not the only one that said that.
Yeah,
She looks like a slightly older version of Kristen Ritter.
yeah, like but like how I would imagine Kristen Ritter looks at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, she's pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, but she was, and
Was she an
but she was
Outlander?
really good in this movie, or whatever you want to call it, special.
A special, yeah.
So was the Gail Garcia.
See ya.
Yeah, like it's
But he is a really good actor. Like Motorcycle Diaries is still one of the best. Like,
okay. Okay, let's not get off topic. Okay.
sorry.
But yeah, I mean, overall, it was an enjoyable experience. It has a little bit of Halloweeniness to it. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was fun. It had a lot of action. It told a good story in a really short amount of time. It lacks real like character development, I guess,
Yeah.
because you don't have that much time. But I mean, it's a good way to get things out there. And I didn't feel like, oh man, I gotta watch this 2 hour movie.
Yeah.
Like it was
Just
just
a nice
over.
50 minutes, little condensed little mini movie. And now Man Thing is canon.
Yeah, which is great. What would you rate this out of 10 or however you want to rate it?
10 out of 10. I'll give it a 7-1, 7-2, somewhere in between there. It was fun for what it was, but it's not something like, for example, like an end game where you're gonna go back and watch it again. But on Halloween, I might give it another view just
Yeah,
as a fun.
I think so. I think it's a movie that can have a rewatch because especially because of how short it is, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm more like a 7.4,
Okay.
7.4, 7.5 ish, somewhere in that range. I think it's one of the better things Marvel's done recently.
It's different, and different
Yeah,
is good sometimes.
it's not like in the upper echelon of Marvel stuff, but like in comparison to the stuff that's come out recently, it's definitely something that caught my eye a little more than everything else. It's pretty well put together,
Yeah.
and it used a really smart cast rather
Yeah.
than just
But it's
like
the same
throw
trope. It's a
names.
MacGuffin. Go after the MacGuffin, plot twist, everything. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but the little comedy things worked really well. I'm excited to see what they could do with these characters.
yeah.
Okay, so this review's not going to be super long, but let's just go into full spoilers now. So if you don't want spoilers, you can leave. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming. Drop a like. Um, what do you think this movie does for Marvel going forward? And does the introduction of like these more monstery type characters change anything?
Uh, yes and no. I think this is going to be like a separate, almost like how DC wanted to create their dark universe. I think this may be Marvel's dark universe. You're going to get Man Thing. You're going to have Jack Russell. I would even maybe throw Moon Knight in there.
Yeah, clearly
Like,
Elsa is going to stick around as well because
yeah.
she's been like the star of this whole thing.
And I don't know, maybe get this ragtag group of monster hunters to save monsters kind of thing with the help of like, dark forces, maybe throwing a little Doctor Strange in there every now and then as a cameo.
So and you know what's funny? Definitely like you can add this could go in the Blade universe. I
Yeah.
think this was
If it ever
made.
comes out now.
I have two things on this. I think if um I think the reason that they cut Blade from this movie because he was supposed to have an appearance is supposedly is
Yeah.
because they knew something was going on behind the scenes of Blade, and they're like, we don't want to do this because they might end up recasting Mahershala Ali, so they don't want to
Yeah.
show
Because
him
now that the
now.
director is gone too.
Yeah, and he's really upset about it. He doesn't like what's going on. They've already changed writers a bunch of times and
Yeah.
like all this stuff. So that is what it is. But I think this movie is basically only exists as a device to show that like the universal style monsters exist
Yeah.
here, like werewolves and vampires, so that now it softens the blow for when Blade comes in. People are like, how the hell
Yeah.
the vampires just came out of nowhere? At least like now
Monsters are
people
already
are
there. But I mean,
monsters
even
exist.
something like in the comics, it's tied to the Darkhold too. So it could have even connections there. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's multiple avenues it can go in without going to cinema blockbuster type of thing.
Yeah.
Keep this to the
Well, it already
TV.
shows that it's kind of undergroundy in the sense that this has
Yeah,
existed for hundreds of years and people don't even know about it. Like the heroes don't even know that this. Even
yeah,
Doctor Strange has never mentioned these people, and
yeah,
I think that's good. And I think what you're saying is right. I think you have to kind of separate this world. Like you may have a big fight with world ending, and you Blade helps, but you'll
yeah.
never need Jack Russell in that
No,
situation. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, or
Like,
even like Kit Harington's character, Dane. Dane, what's his name there? Black Knight.
yeah, though I think what you were saying, I think those type of characters, Moon Knight, they're gonna get put into like a separate zone, like
Yeah,
Ghost Rider, maybe even if he ever comes.
this could be the beginning of like a Marvel Knights or a
Yeah,
Marvel
it's the Sons of Midnight Suns or something
Midnight
like
Suns.
that.
Yeah,
It makes sense, or even Illuminati, because Illuminati kind of, even though it has
know
big
about
names attached, they
yeah
lean towards this uh
supernatural
supernatural
occult.
stuff more than to the regular Marvel
Yeah,
canon.
but I
I
mean
mean,
they could even introduce now Mephisto if they really wanted to, but I think that ship
oh
has
no,
sailed.
now we're gonna tease Mephisto for the 400th. You know what's so funny?
Blackheart. There you go. How about
Blackheart.
Blackheart?
Yeah, Blackheart. But like this Mephisto thing,
Yeah. I just
it's
said it as a joke. I'm
I
not
know, but it's got out of control to the
it
point where
has.
like Mephisto's not even good in the comics. Why is
No.
everyone so obsessed with Mephisto? Just because there was one small Easter egg, it spiraled out of control to the point where Marvel's just brainwashing everybody by constantly
Yeah.
dropping Easter eggs to F with you.
Yeah, I'd rather have like I said, I'd rather have Blackheart. That would be a much better villain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just shut up about Mephisto. No,
Yeah.
I don't care about Mephisto.
That wasn't meant as a joke. I'm sorry, and I shouldn't have said
Yeah,
that.
now you just ruined everything. My life is over. No, but generally this was a fun movie.
It was. It was.
Uh, Special,
Whatever
whatever
you
you
want
want
to
to.
call it.
I originally thought it was going to be a series, and then when I saw the announcement, when they dropped the trailer, I was like,
D23,
"Oh,
right?
it's going to be a movie." And then when
Yeah.
I saw it on Disney, it was like 47 minutes. I was like, "What?"
Slightly longer than an episode of a TV of one of their series. Well, it's about twice the length. Their CV
It
it's
was
about
enough.
24 minutes. Yeah.
It was definitely enough.
It
It
did
got
what
to
it
the
needed.
point. It would. I don't think now that you watch it, I don't think it would have worked as a TV show or a movie. I think it would.
No.
It did not have enough material to stretch for that entirety of
Yeah. Didn't
runtime.
Marvel like in the comics? Didn't they do the one shots too? Like a Marvel one shot?
Yeah.
This is like a one shot.
Well,
Tells a
the one shots
story.
are like 15 minutes, but
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
All Hail
That's
to the
it.
King is a good one.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But yeah, no. The only thing is, like, I don't know if you want to get into spoilers for She-Hulk, but it did the exact same trope that she was uh fighting against in the finale of She-Hulk. Basically, at the end of the spoiler for the Werewolf by Night, but Man Thing at the end comes in, obliterates everybody, and helps Jack escape.
Yeah, Ted.
Ted,
Um,
yes, Ted Solis, who is
it
actually Man Thing in the comics. That they actually got the name
it's you know what this it's funny because this man thing is like a kind of a response to Swamp Thing,
DC Swamp
the
Thing. Yeah.
show,
Mm-hmm.
because the show got canceled because it didn't work like in terms of like pulling in audience, but the
Right.
people who did watch it all praised it, and it is a really good show. Actually,
Yeah. Swamp Thing
I've
was
seen
not
about
bad.
half
Yeah.
of it, and I would say there I don't even understand why it got canceled. It was a pretty solid show,
Yeah.
other than it not being a popular character. So this was Marvel saying, "This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do everything that we liked about the
The Swamp
Swamp
Thing.
Thing, but we're only gonna do it very sparingly." So that the movie or the product is not about that character. It's
Yeah.
just an introduction to
He's
him,
just
and that's
there.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it worked, and it
He
worked
was the
really
monster.
well.
He was the monster that they were chasing. They were the
He is why I came. He is
Mhm.
a big reason why I enjoyed, and I would say to most comic book fans or Marvel fans in general, if you're gonna watch this, if you're not planning on watching it, just watch it just for Swamp Thing. Just the
Man Thing.
couple of minutes of Swamp or Man Thing, sorry,
Yeah.
are so worth it
Yeah.
that I feel like you have to watch this.
The ending scene is hilarious. I love that ending scene with them where they're
Yeah.
sitting by the campfire and he's having a coffee. It's like, oh, let's go get sushi or something.
You want sushi? Okay.
Okay, oh yeah,
Uh,
that much.
But yeah, this was definitely worth a watch. It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
different. It needed a little bit more time, I think, to
Yeah.
fully like flesh everything out.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the introduction of characters was good. It's just, it was a little, because they only had 50 minutes, I think it was a little too quick. You didn't really dive into Jack Russell's character too much. Why his family's like that, or you know what I mean? Like, why,
Yeah,
how did
there's,
he
but
become a
I think they're
werewolf?
planning on doing more.
Okay.
But let's see where that goes. Anyways, what's the story, Wishbone? Let's just move on and check out our review for She-Hulk coming out tomorrow, I guess.
Sure. Sounds good.
Peace out.
See ya.